Hello, welcome to my channel. It's called Emmaroma. I'm Emma, and let's get into it. It's almost 2025, which is crazy. I'm about to graduate. With the new year comes new trends, and the fragrance industry is undergoing a lot of changes. We're seeing increasing popularity of certain scent profiles and also specific notes being used in perfumes. The target market for fragrance is also evolving, and brands have been trying to quickly respond as to not lose out on this large portion of young millennial and Gen Z consumers. If this sounds interesting to you, strap in because it is going to be a very long ride. And join me in exploring the new trends in fragrance for 2025. Now, like a few of the trends that I'm going to speak about in this video, this one is not exclusive to 2025, but it is here to stay for the new year, and that is gourmands. Traditional sweet dessert-like gourmands, what a lot of people think of when they hear that word, are here to stay. More than ever, consumers are craving a highly sensory experience. Recently, Perfumerism, who is a huge fragrance YouTuber, I love her videos, just posted and expressed her love for the Cycler Sensorial Body Wash because of the experience that it provides. That kind of sums up perfectly what consumers are looking for in their shower routines, in their skincare routines, makeup routines, and now fragrance as well. Many of the trends that we're seeing reflect that sensory desire, and I will keep coming back to that in this video. Because those traditionally sweet gourmands smell like a hyper-realistic dessert, it gives the illusion of a sensory experience, because with the smell, you're also sort of getting that taste of whatever dessert it's trying to recreate or allude to. We've seen a mix of recent releases, Afternoon Delight, Kayali Vanilla Rock Candy Sugar, and Yum Bougie Marshmallow, as well as many pre-2024 gourmands becoming very popular and maintaining viral status online. Just look at Giardini di Toscana Bianco Latte, Sol de Janeiro Sol Chirosa 62, Narcotica Happy Dust, and so many more. And also the vast majority of celebrity fragrances. Now, I'm obsessed with gourmands as much as the next fragrance lover, but I would like to see a pause on these hyper-sweet gourmand fragrances, just because there's already so many. I think a lot of other people are feeling the same way, and some brands have started to change their direction and are leaning towards more savory gourmands, neo-gourmands if you will. I did not make up that term, that was something I saw in a magazine. What counts as a gourmand is actually pretty broad, since it just refers to a fragrance that has a sort of edible smell. So these neo-gourmands are incorporating notes like rice and milk and matcha, coffee, sesame, and also nuts. Obviously not all of these are savory, but we're seeing gourmands that are being done in a less saccharine way. So think Danam White Rice, Ariel Shoshana Sundae, Diptyque L'Eau Papier, Born to Stand Out Happy Nuts, just to name a few. And I'm not surprised. In 2023 and 2024, there was a huge rise in demand for milky perfumes, and we've seen that reflected in a lot of the recent popular perfumes. I mean, Bianco Latte, there was Lush Super Milk, Fleur Heavy Cream, Commodity Milk, and so many other lactonic perfumes. Milk is comforting and nostalgic, and was also sort of unexpected. I think that's why it's perfect in giving people that illusion of a multisensory experience. I mean, you get the taste of milk, the feeling of warmth, and then the literal lactonic scent. And it takes us back to a simpler, less hectic time. So the industry is rethinking gourmands. Not only are these candied, syrupy, sweet fragrances part of our palette, but we're expanding to see more savory, creamy, and nostalgic gourmands. The world in 2025 is about to get very, very fruity. Fruity fragrance, fruit-focused, not just fruity floral, are having a moment right now and will continue to be the moment in the upcoming year. The fruits that we're seeing the most right now are stone fruits, which just means that they have a pit inside of them. Additionally, bananas and strawberries will become part of that fruit revolution, which I'm very excited about. Cherry has already been dominating as of late. Fragrances like Tom Ford Lost Cherry, Seven Virtues Cherry Ambition, BDK Rouge Smoking, Kayali Love Fest Burning Cherry, Fragrance du Bois Sereine, Sniff Tart Deco come to mind. Plus, cherry is just the beginning. Other stone fruits like mangoes, plums, peaches, apricots, nectarines are making space in the industry. Vilhelm Perfumery Mango Skin has to be one of my favorite mango fragrances. To be fair, I've only smelled a handful, but I like how realistic and pulpy it smells. I'm also dying to smell Zoologist Hummingbird. It has those stone fruits that I was talking about earlier. It has cherry and plum notes. It has a green apple, which is one of my favorite notes. It just smells so clean and fresh. And then it has some of my favorite florals like lilac, honeysuckle, violet, peony. It sounds amazing. When I was researching other plum fragrances for this video specifically, I found one from Indult, which also makes Tihota, which is a wonderful vanilla. But it's called Savory? I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's the 2024 version. And oh my god, the color alone makes me want to drink the entire bottle. I will 100% be getting a sample at some point just for that vibrant purple alone. Strawberry and banana are also some fruity friends that we will be seeing. Fleur's Strawberry Letter was a recent release, actually. I've only smelled it in stores, but it was very nice. It has a bright, tart strawberry with a plum that kind of enhances those qualities. I personally don't find myself reaching for just straight fruity fragrances, but this was lovely. Earlier in 2024 for spring, Marc Jacobs released Daisy Wild, which has a very prominent banana flower note. I haven't smelled a lot of perfumes with a banana flower note, but this was amazing. It's very fruity and light. Think of a refreshing infused water, not a concentrated pulpy juice. I actually loved it so much that my partner secretly got me the travel size while we were at Kohl's. I think they were just sick of me constantly smelling it every time we went to Sephora, but if you're watching this, thank you very much. Then for summer, Kayali released their limited edition collection called Vacation in a Bottle. Two of the scents, Maui in a bottle and to a lesser extent Maldives in a bottle, had that banana note. Even though the taste of bananas themselves is quite creamy and it's often used as a substitute in baking and batters, I think the smell is a lot more fresh and tropical. So don't forget what consumers are looking for. We've already seen a million coconut suntan lotion fragrances for summer, and banana is a fresh take on this. No longer are we just lounging by the pool drinking pina coladas. We are exploring and being out in nature during the summer. We are running under fruit trees with a tropical breeze, and it's sweeping the smell of flowers and fruits right in front of us. That's kind of the vibe for summer now. That is a more exciting sensory experience. Now you've probably heard of the clean girl aesthetic, the quiet luxury aesthetic, or maybe cottagecore. I know they're not quite the same, but they are a 180 from what we saw about a decade ago, with maximalist, very flashy aesthetics. More and more, people want a grounded and earthy fragrance to match their new aesthetic. Now when I say earthy, I don't mean it in a literal mossy or piney or soil-like way. More of a musky, powdery, gentle earthy, like the vibe of down to earth. Just look at the success of fragrances like Le Labo, Another 13, Santal 33, Diptyque Fleur de Peau, Fleur Missing Person, and Father Figure. I could go on forever. And even newer releases like Bottega Veneta Come With Me, Glossier You Do, Fleur Soft Spot, etc. Notes of violet, iris, ambrette, and orris are kind of giving that powdery, musky, clean feel. Now I'm not saying that heavier, darker, massive projecting perfumes aren't still desired. I mean, Initio Oud for Greatness is still very popular, but this is a growing trend to keep your eye on. Now, I have one more trend to talk about that deals with specific perfume notes, and that would be spices. Cardamom, saffron, cloves, ginger. A lot of viral fragrances at the moment contain those notes, and people are loving that. One of my all-time favorite fragrances, Fragrance du Bois Minuit et Demi, has a strong cardamom note. Other fragrances with cardamom include Diptyque Eau EDT, BDK Gris Charnel, I Love Gris Charnel, and Parfums de Marly Altair. Actually, Orabella, which is Bella Hadid's new alcohol-free perfume brand, just released Nightcap, which is a spicy vanilla. It has cardamom and ginger. It's actually the only one from Orabella that I liked on my skin. Saffron is also very very popular. I mean, one of the biggest niche perfumes right now is MFK Baccarat Rouge. Every celebrity is wearing this. I smell it out in public all the time. Personally, I can't get over that plasticky smell. I could see myself liking something like this though, because I do get that sweet burnt sugar poking through. Other notable fragrances with a saffron note include Initio Oud for Greatness, Mancera Instant Crush, which I believe is very similar to Baccarat Rouge, Born to Stand Out Drunk Saffron, you get the picture. So a lot of these spices are actually being incorporated to traditional sweet gourmands to give it a more elaborate profile. And that brings me to the next trend that we will see in 2025. At this point, niche perfumery is mainstream. MFK, Parfums de Marly, Initio, Creed, for example. Interest in more complex perfumes comes with an interest in those niche perfume brands. The art of fragrance is now at the forefront of consumers' minds. Designing the most mass-appealing fragrance is not the only strategic marketing strategy anymore. People like a polarizing fragrance, one that takes you on a journey throughout its wear time, or one that challenges existing notions of what a fragrance with that particular profile is supposed to smell like. Plus, personal branding has been trending for years now. People want to express themselves in a unique way. I've definitely seen a rise in people wanting to find their own personal style and distinguish themselves from others. I mean, just look at the hundreds of YouTube creators who offer a paid service to help people find their own personal style. It makes sense that people would want a unique fragrance to complement their outward expression. Smelling like everyone else is so out. People want a signature scent that no one else is wearing. One that is complex, complicated, special, maybe even a little bit odd, just like them. So remember how I was talking about multi-sensory experiences being desired? Well, in comes new formats of fragrances. One of these new formats is solid perfumes. Glossier has done this with the original Glossier U. Diptyque has solid perfumes. The new Fenty Eau de Parfum also has a solid version. Just watch the ad for Glossier U, the one with both the mist and the solid. There's a lot going on. There's this rhythmic, clapping, clicking sound throughout the entire ad, a lot of imagery of skin-to-skin contact, flashes of street sounds, multiple different voices interjecting saying, "You smell good." There's one clip of someone's fingers playing with a rubber band. This is all intentional. It's appealing to your senses. Glossier wants you to know that their fragrance is not just about you smelling good. Their fragrance is tied to all of these other emotions and all of these other senses. I mean, one of the models is shown literally applying the solid perfume to her neck and then immediately hugging someone after to create that sort of association between the senses. This is really good marketing. I was intrigued, I was persuaded, and I don't even really like how Glossier U smells on me. But every time I go into the Sephora, I smell Glossier U because I'm hopeful that one day I will smell it and I will feel all of the things that that commercial said Glossier U would make me feel. And solid perfume isn't the only new format we're seeing. We're talking lotions, body oils, body butters, candles, laundry detergents. I mean, the brand Sniff takes their most popular fragrances and turns them into candles, laundry detergents, and laundry scent boosters.
I mean, they have a freaking croissant laundry detergent.
Lorena Fragrances does dupes of popular fragrances, but in body care form, and a lot of other brands make their most viral fragrances into lotions. Parfums de Marly has a Delina lotion and a Delina body cream. There's a Bianco latte lotion, and Glossier U also has a body butter. A traditional mist alone can't actually give you a multi-sensory experience, only the illusion of one, depending on what notes it has, or which memories it evokes. So now brands can incorporate these alternative forms of fragrances to pull on your other senses. And this is especially helpful for brands like Glossier who are creating very minimalist scents. So expect to see a lot more solid perfumes, perfume oils, lotions, body butters, candles, laundry detergent, and more. Maybe even a car freshener, because I would buy that. Now, this last one is indeed a trend, but it's more than that. It's necessary and needs to be a permanent industry shift. Many consumers are becoming quite aware of the environmental strain that large companies are having, and activism to generate awareness about this and to steer buyers away from those companies is very powerful. Just look at how such a large portion of the internet has turned on fast fashion. I mean, just before and especially during the pandemic, there was a huge uptick in online purchasing, with many influencers buying hundreds of dollars worth of very cheap clothing, and people ate that up. But not as much anymore. Younger generations especially are very concerned about the environment, about climate change, and finding ways to support that cause. So many products are now being labeled as clean or sustainable and vegan and etc. Some companies have actually positioned their entire brand to be a sustainable one. I'm thinking Henry Rose, The Seven Virtues, Dead Cool, Skylar, Ellis Brooklyn, Sana Jardin, the list goes on. Consumers want transparency about the sourcing of the raw materials used to make the perfumes that they buy. They want recyclable packaging, waste reduction during manufacturing, and for brands to use their platform and profits to give back to communities and to the environment. While I'm sure this is strictly a marketing tactic for a lot of brands, it's going to need to become a real change. It's going to be hard. Decades of doing things the way we have been is not going to cut it anymore. And that's for all companies, not just fragrance ones. Now, to be fair, there could be better infrastructure to incentivize sustainability efforts, or to allow for a smoother transition into these more sustainable and ethical practices. And this is what we're already seeing. And brands, in full faith or not, are going to continue to demonstrate their sustainability efforts. Hopefully, we will be seeing it done more in full faith in the year of 2025. That's all I have for today. Of course, there are many other trends for 2025, but these are the ones that I felt it was most important to talk about today. I did not touch on the integration of AI technology into the fragrance industry, but I would like to eventually. If you'd like an entire other video on that, please comment below. And if you want to see more fragrance content from me, consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you later.